After adding basic footwork in the step and shoot stickwork drill, the carousel and shoot drill sees players carry high and shoot, which is a staple movement pattern in box lacrosse. Pass low and carry high, as we say. For this drill, arrange players in one or both ends of the floor depending on numbers. Have them stationed on their proper floor sides at the crease position on both sides of the floor. Other players set to go in this drill should be behind them in the corners. Prior to getting going, coaches need to do a demo of the nuances of running high while looking to the middle of the floor, as if looking for an open cutter. Or otherwise, looking to see if they would be able to take space and get into the prime scoring area for a shot. The other details here are, especially for beginners, being able to shift their body momentum, which is headed away from the net, back downhill towards the net. The biggest mistake players make in this drill is fading away from the net, shooting off of their back foot instead of re-establishing themselves and stepping into the shot. In variation 1A, the first player on one side of the floor carries the ball from low to high, from the crease position up to the shooter position, and then steps into a set shot. For beginners, pylons can be used for players to curl around, explaining to them about a house defense and where defenders are likely to be, in terms of the movement pattern and the angle the player needs to take when running from low to high. For more advanced players, a coach can stand at each shooter position and force players to stop and drag for a shot, face dodge or roll dodge underneath, otherwise turn the corner and walk up the middle, which is variation 1B. This drill can also be done off ball, which is the case in variation 2 using the same setup. The first player on one side of the floor runs from low to high, from the crease position up to the shooter position, and ideally receives a lead pass just before they arrive, catching the ball, planting their feet, and taking an outside shot. The pass comes from the far side crease player, who is ideally moving their feet prior to delivering the pass. The passer then repeats the same action of the player they just passed to, receiving a pass from the opposite side, which is variation 2A. As a more remedial variation of this drill, coaches could act as passers instead of players, with players starting with no balls and running up around the pylon receiving a pass, which is variation 2B. Variation 3 is the same off-ball drill, except after catching the ball, coaches force players to drag for a shot, face dodge, or roll underneath, otherwise turning the corner and walking up the middle. As in most of our shooting drills, the remaining variations include players being instructed to take a certain type of release point, adding a dummy screen to work on screenshots, reacting to rebounds, and lastly, adding competitive elements like a game to 7 between the lefties and righties, otherwise playing the no drops, no misses game, all of which I describe in more detail in the step and shoot stickwork drill.